It was just another dusty afternoon at a quiet gas station off Highway 12. A group of outlaw bikers pulled in, engines rumbling like thunder. They didn't know yet, but the quiet woman refueling her Jeep wasn't someone to be mocked. Not today, not ever. The gas station sat alone on the outskirts of a small desert town in Arizona. The sun hung heavy in the sky, casting long shadows against the cracked asphalt. A gentle breeze carried the scent of diesel, dust, and wild sage. Inside the convenience store, an old ceiling fan struggled to push the heavy air around. Standing by pump number 4 was Sarah Mitchell, short-cropped hair tucked under a worn baseball cap, sunglasses masking her sharp blue eyes, and a plain gray hoodie hiding the frame of someone who knew discipline, endurance, and silence. At 38, Sarah had the kind of presence that didn't shout for attention, but carried weight. She had served 12 years as a Navy SEAL, one of the very few women to ever make it through the grueling selection. But out here, she was just Sarah, a woman on her way home from visiting her father's ranch. Her hands moved with mechanical precision, clicking the gas pump into place, her thoughts drifting to the phone call from earlier that morning. Her father's health was declining faster than the doctors had expected. Her heart was heavy, but her face gave nothing away. The incident, the tranquility was shattered by the roar of 6 Harley-Davidsons. The outlaw bikers rolled in, clad in leather, patches, and steel chains. Tattoos snaked up their arms, faces hardened by years of living outside the rules. Laughter erupted among them when they noticed Sarah. One, taller than the rest with a tangled beard, nudged his buddy. "Look at this! City girl trying to play tough all by herself." Another chimed in. "Bet she can't even change a tire." Sarah heard it, of course she did, but her posture didn't change. Her hands continued squeezing the pump handle, her eyes fixed on the digital numbers ticking up. The tallest biker, who everyone called Red, swaggered over. "Hey, sweetheart," he sneered. "Need a hand with that thing? Might be a bit complicated for you." His buddies chuckled, circling like vultures waiting for weakness. Sarah slowly turned her head, pulled off her sunglasses, and looked him dead in the eye. Her gaze was cool, unreadable. "I'm good, thanks." But Red wasn't done. "Nah, come on. What's a girl like you doing out here alone? Ain't safe. You never know what kind of bad folk you'll run into." One of them stepped closer, brushing against her shoulder just enough to test boundaries. For a brief second, the air shifted. Something unspoken hung between them, the tension before a storm. A couple of truckers at the diesel pump paused, exchanging wary glances. A mother exiting the convenience store quickly pulled her young son by the hand, sensing the change. Sarah slowly replaced the pump, tightened the gas cap, and let out a quiet sigh. "Gentlemen," she said, "I'm going to give you a chance to walk away." Red threw his head back and laughed. "Oh, she's got jokes." Another biker snapped. "Or what? You gonna call your boyfriend?" What happened next unfolded in less than 10 seconds, but felt like slow motion to everyone watching. Red reached out, a lazy hand aiming for her arm. Maybe to scare, maybe to mock. His fingers never made it. Sarah pivoted, a swift step back, a fluid movement. Her hand shot up, locked his wrist, and with a slight twist and downward force, she sent him to his knees, yelping in pain. Before the others could process it, Sarah swept her leg, knocking the second biker off balance. Her movements were surgical, precise, efficient, no wasted energy. A third lunged, she sidestepped, grabbed his jacket collar and flipped him over her hip onto the concrete. Gas station attendants froze. A trucker's coffee hit the ground. Silence, except for the heavy breathing of 3 stunned bikers now sprawled across the pavement. The remaining 3 instinctively backed away, hands raised slightly. Whoa, we didn't mean nothing, just messing." Sarah stood straight, adjusted her cap, and said calmly, "Walk away, right now." They didn't need to be told twice. They hauled their buddies up, mumbling apologies, and scrambled onto their bikes, engines roaring as they sped away like scared dogs. Resolution and reflection. Silence settled back over the gas station. The mother with the child whispered, "Thank you," as she passed. One of the truckers nodded with deep respect, tipping his cap. Sarah didn't smile, didn't boast. She simply finished her transaction, got back into her Jeep, and drove away. Just a quiet woman on her way home. But for everyone who witnessed it that day, they learned something unforgettable. Never ever underestimate someone because of how they look. especially not someone who has spent their life serving, sacrificing, and protecting.